Bhavan Amangal Hari, Dhruvahu Dashrath Ajar Bihari. Hail Lord Siyavar Ramchandra. Om Tulsi Dasai Nama, Om Valmikya Nama, Om Gauripataye Nama, Om Srispatnikya Laxmane Nama, Om Shatrugane Nama to the wife of Shri. Om Shri Sapatnakaya Bharataya Nama, Om Hanumat Nama. Hey dear listeners, if you are new on our channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, so that you keep getting the next part of Ramkatha. Jaya Shri Ram. I worship those khalas, knowing them like King Preet who have 10,000 years to listen to other sins. Then, knowing him to be equal to Devraj Indra, he requests that those who are very dear to the army of the gods, in the same way, Sura, liquor, is loved by Noko, deer. As Indra loves his thunderbolt, so khalas love their bitter youth like thunderbolts, and like Indra, they look at foreign evil with thousands of eyes. It is the custom of khalas that when they listen to the good of someone who is indifferent, friend or foe, get burnt by the heat of. That's why I request him with folded hands with love. I have made this prayer on my behalf, but they will not take care of it even by mistake. Like no matter how much love you keep a crow, but can it ever become disinterested? Now I bow down to the feet of the saints as well as the wicked. Although both of them are painful, yet there is some difference between them. There is a saint who takes his life at the time of separation, and the other evil people give immense pain as soon as they meet. Lotus and jock grow together in water, but their qualities are different. Similarly, the qualities of saint and non-saint are also different. See, the ocean, the father of nectar and wine, is the same. But the qualities of both produced from it are different in the world. Similarly, there is a difference between a saint and an ascent. A saint is like nectar and an ascent is like wine. Everyone gets fame and infamy in the good and bad world by their own actions. Saints are like nectar, moon and Ganga. Wicked people are like poison, fire and the river of karma. In this way, everyone knows the merits and demerits, but what is good for the one, is good for him. The good are adorned by goodness and the meanness is adorned only by his meanness. As nectar gives immortality and poison is appreciated because it kills instantly. Wicked people imbibe demerits and good people imbibe virtues, but the speed of both of them should be considered as immense like the bottomless ocean. This is why I have explained their merits and demerits a little, because without recognition they cannot be collected and sacrificed. Brahmaji has created all good and bad, and Vedas have separated them by calculating means by determining their merits and demerits. Vedas, Itihas and Puranas say this thing, that the whole world of the Creator is mixed with virtues and demerits. Happiness, sorrow, merit, sin, day, night, saint, disbeliever, good caste, good, bad, deity, demon, high, low, Maya and Brahma, Jiva and Ishwar, Lakshmi and poverty, poverty and king, Kashi and Madesh, Ganga and Karmnasha, Maru Desh and Malwa Desh, Brahman and Bacha, heaven and hell. Preeti and Vairagya, these qualities and vices are divided in the Vedas. And the scriptures have done it. All these people know very well that Lord Brahma has made this inanimate conscious world with merits and demerits. But when the Creator gives such knowledge, then only the mind renounces the defects and accepts the virtues. But due to the inspiration of time, karma and nature, sometimes even good men miss the right path by being under the control of nature. The devotees of God rectify it, and by suppressing the sorrows and defects, the holy fame. Similarly, the evil people do good by getting the bad, but their indestructible nature, it does not fade away. He may cheat the world by dressing up well, because he is worshipped by the majesty of the disguise. But in the end, Their secret will definitely be revealed, and as soon as that secret is revealed, they will end, they will not survive, just as Kalnimi, Ravana and Rahu did not survive. On the contrary, sages who are true good men, no matter how they live in Kuvesh, but they are respected everywhere, like Jamwant and Hanuman are worshipped in the world even today. There is harm from bad company and there is benefit from good company. This thing has been said in the Vedas as well, and everyone in the world knows it very well. Just like dust rises to the sky with the help of wind, and when it mixes with water falling down, it becomes mud. For example, parrots and minors live in everyone's house, that is, they are brought up. But those who grow up in the house of a saint say Ram Ram, and those who grow up in the house of a saint abuse innumerable times. Look, the smoke is the same, but because of bad company. It spoils utensils and other things by becoming soot, and after getting compatibility, it becomes ink to write the scriptures and Puranas. Then the same smoke becomes a cloud by contact with water, fire and wind, and becomes the life giver of the world. Planets like sun and moon, medicines, water, air and clothes, all these things become good and bad in the world only because of getting good and bad yoga. This is well known by the best men. Although the light of the moon remains equal in both the sides, but the Creator has increased its fame by name, and the side which makes the moon inferior has been named as Krishna Paksha. Because the side which nourishes the moon, the world has defamed him by calling him Shukla Paksha. I always worship all the living beings in the inert and conscious world with folded hands at their lotus feet, knowing them to be Ramame. Then I worship all the gods, demons, men, snakes, birds, ghosts, ancestors, Gandharvas, eunuchs and demons etc., so that everyone may bless me. In this way, 84 lakh living beings of 4 types, Jarayuj, Andaj, Svedaj, Udbhij, live in water, land and sky. I bow with folded hands to this whole world filled with Sita Rammi Jan. Everyone considering me as their servant, leave the deceit and bless me together, do it. Because I have no faith in the power of my intellect, that's why all of you. I want to sing the praises of Shri Ramchandraji, that is, I want to write Ramayana. But my intelligence is small and the character of Shri Ramchandraji is very inexpressible. From this I do not understand any part and remedy, that is, there are many parts of poetry, in which I do not have knowledge of even one. Because my intellect is very poor and my desire is like that of a king. My intelligence is very low, the desire is very big. The desire is for nectar, and here in the world even buttermilk, whey, is not available, then how can it be made? That's why gentlemen will forgive my rudeness and will listen to my child's words with interest. Just as mother and father listen to a child's talk with a happy heart, in the same way. I hope people will listen to my poem knowing it as childish. But those who are cruel, crooked and ill-conceived, who wear the ornaments of others' faults, they will definitely laugh. So who doesn't like his poetry, whether it is Saras or Nirifoko? There are not many such good men in the world who are happy to hear the creation of others. Hey brother, there are many such people in the world, like a river and a pond, who get increased by their flood after getting water. There are some such pious souls and gentlemen who are like the ocean, who grow on seeing the perfect mother. My fortune is small and my ambition is big, but there is a belief that a gentleman you will get pleasure by listening to things and evil people will laugh. But the laughter and condemnation of evil people will only benefit me, because crows call the nightingale's voice harsh. Similarly, the heron laughs at the swan and the frog laughs at the parrot. Such selfless people will laugh at this beautiful conversation than those who are not fond of poetry and who have only affection at the feet of Sri Ramchandraji. then it is going to give them happiness by being mixed with humor. Firstly, this poem is being done in language. Secondly, my intellect is full, it is worth laughing. Then what is inappropriate if someone laughs? Because those who do not have love in the feet of God and do not have good understanding, they will feel pale after listening to this story. But those who have love for the feet of Sri Hari and Sri Mahadevji and whose intellect is not slanderous, they will definitely find this story of Sri Ramchandraji sweet. I hope that knowing my poem embellished with devotion to Ram, the gentleman will praise it with beautiful speech from the heart. For I am neither a poet, nor clever in speech, nor am I devoid of all arts. I do know this much, that there are different types of words, meanings and ornaments in poetry. There are many types of verses and arrangements, and there are differences of emotion and difference of taste, and there are many types of defects and qualities of ka. But what can I say? I do not have any knowledge of poetry. I am telling the truth by writing on this blank paper in front of me. Although my poetry is devoid of all qualities, yet it has one quality known to the world. Thinking that those who have pure knowledge, such gentlemen will definitely listen. It has the name of the generous Sriramchandraji, who is very sacred and the essence of Vedi Puranas. He, name, is the abode of mass and the destroyer of evil, which is chanted by Mahadevji along with Parvati. I have such a feeling that no matter how strange a poem Sukhvi may have been, it also does not look beautiful without the name of Ram. For example, no matter how well a moon face may be decorated, but without clothes, it also does not look beautiful. On the contrary, no matter how it is a quality-less poem made by a cook, if the name of Ram is inscribed on it, then intelligent and learned people say and listen to it with respect. Why good men imbibe the qualities like Madhukar, Dawn. Although I do not have a single quality of poetry, yet there is glory of Sri Ramchandraji in it. This is the belief in my mind, because who doesn't grow up by getting good company? Just like the nature of smoke is bitter, but if it is in the context, it also leaves its bitterness and becomes fragrant. Similarly, my poetry is very ugly, but in this, the best thing in the form of a story has been described to Sri Ramchandraji, who does good to the world. Tulsidas ji says that the story of Sri Raghunathji is auspicious and destroys the sins of Kali Yuga. The speed of this poetry like river has been given, but like Gangaji, it will become better by association with the beautiful fame of Lord Shri Ramchandra and will be liked by good men, just like the cremation ground is unholy. But the same will be absorbed in the body of Sri Mahadevji. It becomes memorable, beautiful and holy. This poem of mine will be loved by everyone because of the fame of Sri Ramchandraji. Because no one thinks of sandalwood, and that too is considered respectable in the context of Malay. Just as people drink the milk of a black cow considering it to be beneficial. In the same way my language may be poor, but due to the fame of Sri Ramji, the wise people will sing and listen to it. A snake, a mountain or an elephant does not have the same beauty as on the head of a Mani Manak and Mukta. But all this suits the king's crown and the body of a young woman more. In the same way, good poets and learned people do poetry somewhere else, and that glory is found in some other place. When the devotee remembers Sri Saraswatiji for his poetry, then she comes running leaving Brahmaji's house, Brahmalok, due to devotion. Then, without bathing in the lake of Ramcharitra, his tiredness does not go away even with crores of measures. Keeping this thought in mind, poets and pundits sing praises of Lord Shri Hari, who is the destroyer of yesterday's sins. At that time, when some Prakrit starts praising man, then Saraswati starts bowing her head. Scholars say that poetry cannot be composed without the grace of Saraswati because the heart is an ocean. Intelligence in it is like an oyster and Saraswati is Swati Nakshatra. Said Siyavar Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan Ki Jaya. Say Mr. Glory to your mother and father, God. Next part will come after 5 days.